Today, as our guest, we have Betty Fennell, the Executive Director with North Texas Youth Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like you to share with the audience the history of our organization.
Well, we'll start off with the name. Grayson County Juvenile Alternatives was the original name, and the agency was started by at least one of our board members and some of the community here in Sherman. The agency was started because of a young man that was living homeless near the middle school here in Sherman, and the three ladies that were working with this young man couldn't stand the fact that he was living on the streets, and they knew that the only alternative was for him to be housed in the county jail with adult offenders. And of course, this young man was not an offender at all. And so they started going to community representatives and began raising money to start Grayson County Juvenile Alternatives so that kids like this young man would have a place to go.
Not bad kids.
No, these kids are not bad at all. These kids are kids that have had unfortunate situations or bad things happen in their life. But, these kids are wonderful.
So you mentioned the name, and we've said two different ones.
Right. Grayson County Juvenile Alternatives was the original name. The agency started in 1979. Last year, the board asked us to come up with a name that was a little bit more broad because of the services we provide. We're actually in 11 counties at this time and not just Grayson County. And so the name change came about because of that. So the new name is North Texas Youth Connection. And, we've spent the past year really trying to get that name out, and people still call it JA, but, we're still working on that part of it.
Now, the 11 counties, tell us which counties those are.
Oh, gosh, I'm not sure if I can list them all, but I'll try. We have, of course, Grayson, Fannin, Cook, Hunt County, Lamar, Archer, Clay, Wichita, and Wise, Montague, and then Denton that we've added with our new Safe Place sponsor.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the programs, because obviously you've mentioned the shelter, and the programs have changed since the beginning.
Absolutely. It was started out to be an emergency shelter for youth, and so that is our basic program. But we have two other programs. We see it as a stair step at this point. We've added additional programs. We have an outreach program. Our outreach department goes out into the schools and community agencies and community organizations like the Boys Club, Girls Clubs, the housing authorities to provide life skills programs. They do a program called RAP, which is Responsive and Attentive Peers. And, they go out and work with kids from the younger kids and all the way from kindergarten up to high school. They also do a youth advocacy council, which is working with high school kids. They provide a diversity conference every other year, and they do leadership. So they work primarily in Fannin, Grayson, and Cook counties. They also sponsor the Safe Place nationally has a program, and so they sponsor the programs in Denton, Fannin, Cook, and Grayson.
And explain what Safe Place is.
Well, Safe Place, I don't know if you've seen the yellow signs around town that have I believe it's a child and an adult bright yellow signs, and that program is designed to provide a safe place for youth And it could be anything from having problems at home and needing a place to go and to be able to contact our agency so that we can intervene. It can be something as simple as, excuse me. It can be as simple as someone being out on a date and maybe, things don't go exactly right. Maybe there's an argument and one of them needs to leave the situation. And so there are several places around the 4 counties. There's quick trips in Denton County, the hospitals in the area, the fire departments, the police stations, several of the businesses. Walmart is one that has those signs, and they are trained to be able to contact our agency and keep the children in a safe environment so that we can come in and determine what needs to be done, whether that's getting them home safely or providing any type of treatment, getting them to medical treatment, or just making sure that they're okay.
Okay, you mentioned the STAIR step. That's the first level of the program.
Right, that's outreach. And then the second program is our STAR program, which stands for Services to At-Risk Youth. That program is a free family program. It provides family counseling, which is free. It is done by licensed professional counselors for any type of family conflict that may be going on. It could be something as simple as, maybe there's a dispute about curfews, maybe they're just not getting along and communicating real well in their household. If there's truancy issues, where maybe the children aren't going to school on a regular basis, any type of conflict that is causing some type of turmoil in their household. The families can contact us. They contact the STAR office. We get all their information through an intake process and then refer them to a professional counselor in this area. And that program is in 10 of our counties, from Greenville to Paris all the way out to Wichita Falls. There is a program, a STAR program, in every county in the state of Texas. And if you go to the Prevention and Early Intervention website, which is a state website, you can actually locate any program in every county in the state.
Now, the STAR program also has a 24-hour crisis hotline.
They do. They have a 24-hour crisis hotline that is answered by a person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Someone is always available, and they can get in touch with the family, visit with the family either by phone or actually go to their location if it's necessary to start that intervention with whatever's going on with the family conflict.
And if our program isn't the right one for the family, the staff is able to refer.
Absolutely. One of the biggest parts and pieces of our programs is our ability to refer to other agencies in the community. And, whether it's, governmental or nonprofit agencies in the area that might be able to provide additional services besides the ones that we specifically provide.
And that hotline number, to let you know, is 1-800-568-7776. And you can receive someone on the other end 24 hours a day, 7 days.
The program is our emergency shelter. And like I said earlier, that is the program that this agency originally started with. It started out over on Cherry Street in a small house with house parents that provided care for these youth. They provide basic needs, shelter, food, clothing. We are now over on Lamar, and it's really basically set up as a family or home environment, because these children have been taken away or have left their home environment for some reason. our main goal is to always get children back with their family structure. That is the number one goal of our agency with every program that we have, is to maintain that family unit. But when it's not possible, then we provide those services. We provide the basic, shelter, food, and clothing for these kids. We can house up to 14 children at any given time, ages from 10 to 17. And we do have youth that come in from all over the state and from other states as well, because we are actually funded through the Runaway and Homeless program, which is nationwide. We have received emergency shelter funding in the past, and so we get runaways that have been as far as Florida, all the way from California. I mean, we get them all over, and we work with local law enforcement. If they have, picked up a youth that's in that situation, then they know that they can call us, and we can provide a safe haven for those kids. The kids go to school here in public school in Sherman, and so we work with the schools to make sure that they are provided an education. We also provide basic activities. They do chores just like kids do at home.
Hopefully.
Well, we hope so. But they keep their rooms clean. They do their own laundry. They help with cooking. They help with planning meals. And sometimes we get kids that come in that have not ever received those skills. And so one of our other goals when we have kids come into the shelter is we're not going to fix the problem. We're not going to fix whatever the situation is. So our goal is to prepare them for wherever they're going next, whether that's foster care, whether it's back home, whether it's at another shelter. So any time that we have kids that come in, we are always preparing them for those types of placements. And so that includes these basic life skills. This summer, we're actually doing our Discovery program, which is a copyrighted program. It's funded through the University of Texas at Dallas, and we are able to provide them with a variety of activities through the summer that help with those basic life skills. They do get to do some fun things. We've had tickets donated for Ranger games, and they've visited area museums. We've had some job shadowing type experiences and some tours of local businesses and industries. The kids have been able to go to an veterinary's clinic. They've gone to some of the local TV and radio stations because we feel like that we need to be planning them for their future activities as well. So we get them involved in budgeting. They do some arts and crafts activities, just as close as we can get it to a normal family situation.
My favorite part of that is what they do on Tuesdays.
Oh, on Tuesdays are fun. The kids go to all types of different activities. They've been to the Holocaust Museum. They've been to the Sixth Floor Museum. They've toured the Dallas Aquarium, any type of activity like that. One of the other pieces that is my favorite, is their opportunity to give back to the community, and they serve that. They serve meals from Meals on Wheels a couple of days a week. They've gone out and done trash pickup at some of the local areas in the community. And it's funny because a lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, well, these kids need help, but they're doing Meals on Wheels. And I say yes, because even these kids can appreciate the fact that there are other people that need help, that are in a situation that may be, maybe worse off or different than the situation that they're in, and they can appreciate that, and they really enjoy that. And so when they're off on Christmas break or spring break, those are activities that we always try to get the kids involved in.
Wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about, that's the 3 current programs we have. But there's another one that we've been making plans for. Would you like to talk about that?
I would. We are so excited. When I first came on board, we have a board of directors, and one of the first things that that was shared with me was their dream for a transitional living program. And a transitional living program would provide an extended amount of time. Our shelter allows for kids to be there no more than 90 days. An extended program, like a transitional living program, would give them the opportunity to stay up to 2 years. And this would be for ages 16 to 21. We would house them, feed them, and provide some things that we're not able to provide because of the short term in the shelter. And those things are, we've been working with the local colleges and universities and Workforce Texoma to be able to provide additional life skill programs. We would be able to house them. We would be able to maybe help them find a job. We are really promoting post-secondary education. So if the kids have not gotten their high school diploma, they would be able to continue school. If they need to, we could provide services like the GED, and then really promote for them to go on to college, to become self-sufficient. We have partnered with several of the agencies in town to provide, things like how to do a checkbook, how to balance your checkbook, how to save money, all these things that we would want to do. Now, we have originally, this spring, written the first grant, and we'll know in the fall if we've made the second round for that. The board is very excited about it. The staff is very excited about it, and every community organization that we have gone out and visited with about this project is they all get excited because they know it's such a need in this area. There are so many homeless kids that we don't see. When you go to Austin, if you go to Dallas, you're going to see homeless people on the street.
Right.
You're going to see that. You don't see that in this area.
But it doesn't mean it's not here.
It's here. It's here. When you look at the definition of homeless, you're talking about kids that aren't living at home. They may be bouncing from friend to friend, sleeping on the couch. We've had kids that have slept in abandoned buildings, with no electricity, no water, sleeping in cars, if they are lucky enough to even have a car. But these people exist, and it's hard to share that with people because you don't see it. It's not visible. So the goal of the transitional living program would be to make these kids self-sufficient, to prevent homelessness in the future. We want to break that cycle.
Right.
And there's a lot of different reasons why kids are homeless, and we just see it as a need in this area and a wonderful opportunity to add that to our tier programs.
What kind of volunteer opportunities are available?
Oh gosh, we have such a need for volunteers, and we love it when people come in. The kids, we have 24-hour staff with the shelter kids, and they get to know the staff and they love the staff, but the staff can't provide everything, and the kids love it when people come in just to play board games, maybe play a game of one-on-one basketball, just to talk. Mm-hmm. We have kids that, like every other child at home, has trouble with their homework or is struggling with algebra or, so anytime we can have someone come in and help them with homework, those opportunities are always there, for people out in the community that are interested in working with kids. As far as our agency goes, we have a very small staff and we have very limited funds. And so anytime we can have someone come in, just to help answer phones or, make copies. There's lots of opportunities. Just about any job that you could have or that you have an expertise in, if it's planting flowers, we can always find something for you to do. There's a lot of opportunity there for volunteers, and we're always looking for volunteers.
Something else we always look for, in addition to donations from the community, which is a given with any nonprofit organization, we have a wish list. What kind of things are usually on the wish list?
Well, we have ongoing needs. Right now we have been, of course, working, because it's summertime, we've been working with trying to get school supplies, because all of these kids do attend school. And even though we only house 14, over the course of the year we'll have somewhere in the neighborhood of 125 kids in our shelter. And so anytime a child comes in, and oftentimes they come in with nothing but the clothes on their back. So, we're trying to provide, their needs where clothing is concerned, but then also, school supplies and things like that. So we do have our school supplies list, and then we have our ongoing wish list, which could be anything from, games or, board games, socks, underwear, those types of things, sheets, blankets, a lot of, like shampoos and, makeup. The girls come in and, everybody, especially if you're a young girl and you're into those kinds of things.
You want to look like everyone else.
And, and that's the point, Vicki, because these kids they have a hard enough time as it is. And when they end up in school, and they don't want to stand out.
Right.
It's hard enough as it is. And so they want to fit in with everybody else. And so they don't want to look different. They don't want to feel different. And so anything that we can provide for them in that way, then we try to do that. So yes, makeup, combs, brushes, some jewelry, just, basic shirts and pants, and, we always look for, and it's kind of a special opportunity, but, gift cards are always nice, because like this summer, the kids have all been going swimming. Well, none of them had bathing suits.
And we don't get them donated often.
And if you do, sometimes it's hard to use, used type items like that. And so if we can take them shopping and get them a bathing suit, then, they don't feel out of place.
And they learn to swim, which is a good
absolutely. And it gives them a chance to interact with other kids in the community, because we do take them out, on different outings and activities throughout the summer, and then especially on the weekends. So there's things like that. Books are always good. We have a room in the shelter that is, there's quite a few books in it, but, it's not always up to date, so things like books. We've had since I've been here, we've had at least one child every month that has had, they always have birthdays, and so they don't always have, family support. So they come in and, they don't have a birthday party like a lot of people do. So, a lot of the donations are used for those kinds of things. We have, the kids get movies for the shelter, and sometimes they'll get movies that, from like a birthday present that they can take with them. CD players, the portable CD players are something that they enjoy so that they can listen to music. And music, they don't, we have a radio, and we have the ability to play CDs, and if they bring them in, of course we screen them for appropriateness, but, the kids they don't want to be left out. They want to be like every other kid, so they want to listen to music, and they like to watch movies. They love to watch movies, and, if you've been there for 90 days, chances are you've seen just about every movie that we have. So anytime we can get new movies, those are other things.
People can go to our website to see our wish list, which we try to keep currently updated, as well as we do tours, and the dates are available. That they can also come in anytime.
Right. If they call or stop by, we'd be more than happy to give anyone a tour and tell them about our agency and what we do. Since you mentioned the website address is ntxyouthconnection.org. So a lot of that information, the volunteer information, I believe the packets are on the website. If you're looking for a place to donate, the wish lists are on there. A lot of information about our programs and contact information for different staff that are working on the programs is also on the website. Good history, but it's all there. If you're interested in donating cash, there's an opportunity to be able to do that online as well. So, but we try to keep that updated, and as we have activities planned and fundraisers planned, those are things that will be on the website.
Okay, we're just about out of time. Is there any last thing you'd like to let people know about our organization?
The thing is that we are so family oriented. I mean, that's why we're here. It's what we do, and anything that we can do to help families is what we're about. So I would just encourage anyone that works with kids, has kids, knows kids, and that's pretty much all of us, that if you know someone that's in need for counseling, if you have an opportunity for us to present at a school or an organization, we'd love to hear from you.